Hello everyone, and welcome back to the QuickN YouTube series tutorial videos. In the last video, we discussed exactly how to use the main tab of the QuickN spreadsheet, and now we'll be moving on to the class abilities, feats, and skills tab in this video. As you may have noticed at the bottom of the spreadsheet, there are different tabs to select besides the main tab. Navigate to the class abilities tab to follow along with me. At the top of this tab, you will see a label called Custom Class. This table is for you to enter in any custom classes which you may use. Since there are only classes given here from the player's handbook and from the expanded psionics guide, it's very likely that you will have to enter some custom classes here should you choose not to play one of those classes. To enter a custom class, simply rename Custom 1, 2, or 3 to the name of your custom class. In the BAB field, select Good BAB, Average BAB, or Poor BAB, depending on your class's base attack bonus progression. For the Fortitude, Reflex, and Will Save fields, select either Good Save or Poor Save. And for the Skill Points field, select either 2, 4, 6, or 8, indicating how many base skill points the class gets per level. In the field beside Custom 1 class skills, or custom whichever you choose to edit, you should enter in your skills that this class has as class skills. Enter them in a comma-separated list for best results. These skills will have to be spelled precisely as the skills are spelled in the Skills tab, which I will show later in this video. Once you have done this, you can make your way back to the main tab, and you will see when you click on class 1, 2, or 3 that the custom class that you have entered will be an option within the data validation. And once you select it, your base attack bonus, your base saves bonus, and your base skill points will automatically be applied to the spreadsheet's automation. This next table here, Class Abilities, is a place for you to enter in your class's unique abilities. You may enter data here as you please. However, there is a tab in this spreadsheet given to you with many of the class abilities given in the player's handbook. Navigate to the Classes Index tab, and you may see that you have a myriad of class abilities from every player's handbook class. To move these class abilities to the Class Abilities tab, simply select the cells which you wish to move, copy, move back to the Class Abilities tab, and paste. Finally, this table here refers to class states. These are states that are class abilities, similar to the condition states which were used in the main tab. Some of the states here are more complicated, so I will explain the ones that I feel need explanation. The Inspire Courage state is a Bard supernatural ability. In this cell here, indicated by a note, you should enter in the level of Bard that you or the Bard in your party has before activating this state. By entering in the Bard level here, you will get an accurate bonus to your attack rolls and will saves. The Inspire Greatness state is another Bard supernatural ability. In this cell here, you should enter in a number of bonus hit points that you are granted when you are affected by the Inspire Greatness supernatural ability. By entering in a number greater than 0 here, you will be granted temporary hit points in the Max After Con cell on main. Moving on to the Feats tab. The Feats tab is much as the Class Abilities tab, although there is no table for custom class entry. Again, for this Feats table here, you may enter in data as you please, although there is a Feats index, similar to how there is a Classes index, and in this Feats index we have every feat given in the player's handbook. Again, simply take the feat which you wish to copy, select all included criteria, copy, move back to Feats, and paste. And again, we have states related to feats And again, I shall explain which feat states need more explanation. The Combat Expertise state is a feat which allows you to remove attack bonus in exchange for dodge bonus to armor class. In this cell with a 0, simply enter in the amount you wish to remove from your attack bonus and add to your armor bonus. Enter this value in as a positive value. The many-shot state is a state used for the many-shot feat, and in this cell here, simply enter in the number of arrows you wish to shoot at the same time with the many-shot feat. Depending on the number of arrows entered here, you will see a change updated in the ranged weapon table on main. You will have a penalty depending on how many arrows you decide to knock, and you will have a number of attacks equal to the number of arrows you decide to knock, regardless of your base attack bonus. The power attack feat is a feat similar to combat expertise. However, instead of adding bonus to armor class, you instead add bonus to damage. Enter in a positive value here in the 0 cell beside the power attack state, and this value will be subtracted from your attack roll and added to your damage roll. Note that if you choose to wield a weapon in 2 hands, twice the amount that you have removed from your attack roll will be correctly added to your damage. The spell focus state has a data validation option where you can select that you either have spell focus or greater spell focus. When you are casting a spell in which you have spell focus or greater spell focus, choose the select criteria from the data validation and activate the state to see an accurate depiction in the spell save DC table on main. The Spirited Charge state similarly has a data validation option where you can choose to use Spirited Charge either with or without a lance. If you choose to use it with a lance, your damage will be multiplied by a factor of 3 instead of a factor of 2, as the Spirited Charge feat allows. The 2-weapon fighting states are quite complicated. There are 2 of them for this purpose. For this first one, simply select the best 2-weapon fighting feat that you have. If you have none, simply select 2-weapon fighting. When you are engaging in 2-weapon fighting, activate this checkbox here. For this final state here, you are to indicate exactly what circumstances under which you are fighting with 2 weapons. If your offhand weapon is not light and you do not have the 2-weapon fighting feat, select normal. If you have a light offhand weapon, but you do not have the 2-weapon fighting feat, select light offhand weapon. If you have the 2-weapon fighting feat, but your offhand weapon is not light, select 2-weapon fighting feat. If you have the 2-weapon fighting feat and your offhand weapon is light, select light offhand and 2-weapon fighting feat. If you wish to have more than one weapon displayed at once in the main tab, something that you can do is simply copy the entire melee weapon table here, select everything, copy, and then place a duplicate on the cell below. I'll give you an example here. We select the entire table, copy, select this cell here, and paste. You can enter in separate values for a different weapon here. You could choose to have this weapon be your offhand attack, and this weapon be your main hand attack, and then you could roll both attacks at once, correctly. Moving on to the Skills tab. Those of you who have been with my channel for some time might remember that this tab was created long before all of the other tabs in the spreadsheet, when I was merely focused on organizing skills. I have made some minor changes to this tab to optimize it slightly, so please pay attention even if you believe you know everything from watching the previous skills tutorial video. This cell here, Armor Check Penalty, takes your armor check penalty from the main tab, so you do not need to enter any value in here. You must select your race here, human, dwarf, elf, gnome, half-elf, half-orc, or halfling, or if you choose, you may now have a custom race. If you wish to have a custom race, simply select this cell here and replace the text custom race with the name of the race that you wish to play as. In these fields here, select a skill in which your custom race either has a bonus or penalty to, and then enter that penalty or bonus in the modifier cell directly to the right. Once you've entered in all this data, you may select the custom race in the race field. Max points per skill is a formula. You do not need to enter anything in here. This simply tells you how many points you may enter into one skill. The speed value here is also a formula that you do not need to enter. This is used to calculate jump bonuses and penalties. To calculate your skill points and class skills, select a class from the right here with the data validation. Note that if you've entered in a custom class on the Class Abilities tab, it will appear here in the data validation. Once you've selected a class, enter in your level in that class and your intelligence modifier while you have been in that class. Once you have done this, the class skill column in this main column here will update. All the class skills that you have will be changed to yes instead of no. This column here indicates whether the skill can only be used if you were trained in it, i.e. if you have 1 rank or more. The key ability column pertains to which ability you add your modifier to the skill, and the armor check penalty column simply indicates whether your armor check penalty applies to the specific skill. For the points column, enter in how many points you have in the given skill, using the max skill points per skill to gauge whether or not you can enter in a certain value. The ranks column will calculate your number of ranks. If it's a class skill, you will have a number of ranks equal to your points. If it's a cross-class skill, you will have a number of ranks equal to half the points rounded down. The miscellaneous modifier column applies any modifiers which are not coming from your skill ranks or your ability score modifiers. To enter in a custom miscellaneous bonus, navigate back up to this table here, select a skill with which you want to apply a bonus, and then add a modifier here, and it will be automatically applied. Your total modifier will be displayed in this column on the right. If it's a trained only skill and you have no ranks in it, your modifier will be NA. In this top left table here, you will be able to see how many skill points you have available to you. As you enter in skill points into this lower table, the unused skill points field here will begin to decrease, and you will be able to know exactly how many skill points you have to spend. It's worth noting that skill synergies and racial bonuses have already been applied to the spreadsheet. So if you have 5 or more ranks in a skill that provides a synergy to another skill, a miscellaneous modifier bonus will be applied. And if you have racial bonuses to certain skills, those will be applied once you select a certain race. This table here indicates a number which you can choose to add to all skills with the miscellaneous modifier. This table is mostly used for certain spells, which add a bonus or penalty to all skill checks. Although if you have an item or some other bonus which applies to all skills, simply go into this formula, scroll to the very bottom, and type in a plus and then the modifier which you wish to apply. This has been the second part of the QuickN tutorial series. I hope the videos have been enlightening so far, and you're beginning to see the usefulness of this spreadsheet program. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.